Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. So I just want to say thanks to everybody who's been tuning in and liking and sharing my videos around. It's really helpful and we are growing here. It's really good, so thank you very much. And today on the channel we're going to be looking at a random puzzle game called Hexoliogic. Now I'm playing it here on the Switch. However, it is available on the PC, iOS and on Xbox. There's also 1000G which can be obtained in around about 2 hours on the Xbox as well, which is pretty impressive. So if you're an achievement hunter out there, you know, you've got 1000G you can get quite quickly. However, we are playing it here on the Switch and it's an actual review. I'm not really wanting to put a video out which is literally for 1000G grab. This is not a walkthrough of how to get to the trophies and achievements as quickly as possible. I actually want to review the game for its actual gameplay and what it is. So basically what it is a fusion of puzzle games between like a Sudoku-y type thing and hexagon based maths, so to speak, where you're adding numbers together. Now basically on the front of the game, that's what it is, and it eases you into it from the beginning and lets you figure it out. So pressing the A button goes straight to a 3, and pressing the B button starts from 1, 2, 3 and upwards, and then it goes on and so forth. And basically you can only go up to 3, and then you can make the numbers up to whatever number is required within the lines to get to the number. Now it gets very hard quite, I won't say early on. After about the first 10 levels it's perfectly fine, and then it starts to get increasingly more harder. Now it's surprisingly addictive and it's a really balanced game of logical fun, and that's all well and good, but the thing is one thing that I think they was aiming for with this was that quick platinum, you see, and the quick 1000G, and the game is really good. It's just very small. Now the thing is I picked this game for what, I think it was 68p or something stupid. It was ridiculously low, and it's really worth that money. It is worth the whatever pence it was, but I think that was at like 90% off. So was it worth £6.80? No, probably not, because the game can be completed all of the levels in probably about 2 hours, like I say, and the actual concept and understanding of what they're doing here is actually a lot of fun. They could do a really long thought out version with different other aspects and such in like a sequel or a second game or another implementation, and really advance on the gameplay and the different understanding of how the game works. And I think it's a really good game for what it is, and the money I paid, it's really worth it, and it's really enjoyable. I think that is the only criticism I have, is the fact that it's very short, and some of the little boss style battle-y things are not exactly the most creative things in the world, and if you've beaten one you've probably beaten them all because they all work the same basically. Once you've finished those things, like, it is what it is. Like, I really want to see more games like this come out on the marketplace, and it's the perfect type of game for the Switch, which is why I picked it up on the Switch, because it really helps that type of platform with these short games which you can play on the go, and that's why I think the Switch Lite and the Switch is really good for in portable mode, because you can play these on your Switch and you're not hindered by the other distractions on your phone. And this in theory is basically a phone game. It's just been ported over to the Switch and on the Xbox, and you can tell that it is a mobile phone game type of thing, because the concept is really quite obvious that it would be well suited to a mobile phone platform, but it works best on the Switch in my opinion. It's got a beautiful zen-like aesthetic and it's really minimalist. It's got a really nice soundtrack, it's relaxing, it's got a lovely colour palette when you're playing on each of the different levels. It blends between the different colours perfectly and is really nice. It's got that modern way about itself which is cool, and it's got a logical, like, a core to it is logical, and it's kind of in the name, isn't it? It's Hexologic. It's logical with hexagons. Very funny. But what it didn't do was push the boundaries of what they could do and push the difficulty barrier whatsoever. Like, I think I got to like level 40 or something, and I was still just ploughing through them perfectly fine, because it just gets to that point where, alright, they're adding some bits and pieces in, but you've not made it any harder. Like, for instance, on this level here, they start putting these preset numbers, but you've not really made it difficult. All you've done is just put in a preset number so you know what the one next to it's going to be, and that's about it. And like I say, I whizzed through some of the levels and it was just fine. What it is relaxing and it is enjoyable. It's just that I think the concept of the game could have been really pushed harder. And for number-based puzzle games like this, yeah, it's a must-have on the Switch, really, because it's perfect for that portability gameplay. But as a game as a whole, it needs more work on it. Because the concept's good, it can be taken further, and it's missed its mark, so to speak, because it's too simple and too easy for the majority of the game. There's a couple where you sit there going, oh, I don't know what that is, but the majority of it you can figure out and go quite quickly and just go through the levels. And I think if they'd have just thought of a couple of other different concepts, they could have really pushed and advanced the difficulty level a little bit more, and that would have made for a more longer game. Even if they did stick to the same amount of levels, they could have made a more cohesive, longer game for the same type of money, just by putting in a couple of more difficulty barriers in there. As you can see here, they do get harder, but it's just a bit easy to complete, if you ask me. Maybe that's just me, I've been playing too many puzzle games in my life, but that's neither here or there. And as I say, for the value for money, it's perfect. You get what you pay for, I suppose. And as I said, it has been heavily reduced on the Switch, but I really would like to see them take another stab at it and maybe make another game of the same concept but build on it, and that way they can show it moving forward and getting better with different concepts and extra things involved, and not just stick to the easy level type of design, if that makes sense. Because the game is good and the music's great and the way in which it works is great. The controls is perfect, it's relaxing, it's fun, it's enjoyable, it's worth the money. It's just that it gets a bit easy. Because once you've figured out how the game works, even into the later levels, you just plough through them. Anyway, that's going to do it for my video here today on Hexologic. If you wanted to ask me any other questions about the game, just drop them down below, and I'll be here on the next video. Speak to you all soon, and goodbye.